Well, hello and welcome back to my channel, and also to anybody who this is the first time to the channel, welcome as well. You may have been drawn to the channel from the title, being put with the ABBA stand and the Triumph Bonneville. Perhaps you've been interested in this stand for a long time. I purchased it recently and I've used it quite considerably over the last month or so. And I think it's absolutely fabulous. I purchased the stand basically to use on my Triumph Tiger. And if you go to ABBA's website, it's a very excellent website. They've got lots of very good videos as well, how to use the stand and how to assemble the stand. And anybody that's interested in getting one of these stands, I would highly recommend you go to ABBA's website and check out their videos. Very worthwhile. This is basically the main stand. This is pretty much its maximum height. There's a locking pin. You can lock it in position at 4 different heights you want to go to. And there's also 3 different height settings on down here as well. And for the Tiger, it's normally I use it sitting on the middle section. And I can also use it on the wee Classic 350, which again is on the middle setting as well. And that's, if you want to see the one on the Classic 350, it's one of my previous videos. But the stand on its own is pretty useless. To make it work, you basically need a fitting kit. And the fitting kit comprises of basically 3 parts, 3 adapters that go into the stand. These ones are specific for the Triumph Tiger 900 GT Pro. And these adapters, they basically just clip into the stand here and they locate onto the main swinging arm bolt on the bike to lock onto the bike. A third adapter here is a wee small bobbin, which again attaches to the rear of the bike, which I'll show you in this video. And that basically allows the bike to be lifted in different positions. If you've looked at ABBA's website and you have a Bonneville, this one here it's a 2010 Hinckley Bonneville. It's an 865 SE. And I would imagine all of the Bonnevilles from roughly, what was it, 2001, wasn't it, they came out? Up to, I think it's 2017, when they changed to the air-cooled Bonnevilles. I would think what I'm talking about today would fit that whole range of the 890s and the 865 Bonneville range, because I would imagine they would all would work. If you go to ABBA's website to look for a fitting kit to use on your Bonneville, you'll find they do not list one. It doesn't. They do not do a fitting kit for the Bonneville. Same as they don't do a fitting kit for the Enfield either. But if you looked at the video for that one, you'll see I've managed to get around that one, and it does work. And it does work for this bike as well. What I've found by experimenting with these fitting kit, that the fitting kit for the Triumph Tiger 900, and incidentally the fitting kit is also for the Triumph Tiger 800, which is exactly the same as this, fits this bike. So basically, if you want to use buy an ABBA stand, all you have to do is select the fitting kit for a Triumph Tiger 800 or a Tiger 900, and it will work. I'll show you where these adapters go, and I'll show you what has to be done to the bike to make this one work. On the left hand side of the bike, the ABBA stand attaches onto this bolt on the end of the swinging arm pivot. And this is the adapter you actually use, which is basically a 24mm adapter. And that basically goes over the top of the bolt, and that's where it locks onto on the stand. With the Bonneville, what I've also had to do is to remove the footrest, because when it's in position, it's so close to the stand, it would actually potentially catch and it would inhibit some of the movement, the operation. So again, it's a case of removing the split pin, the wee circlip on the bottom, drawing the pin out and removing the footrest, which is quite easy. Again, on the Bonneville, basically you have to remove the silencer on this side as well. Again, on this side of the bike, you have to fit this wee bobbin adapter as well onto the bike. And what I found the best place and what fits perfectly is if you remove the bolt on the bottom of the suspension mounting. I tend to use the washer again and put the washer on to the bobbin. That bobbin fits perfectly into the bottom of the suspension mounting. If we move around to the right hand side of the bike, it's a slightly different setup. Again, we need to have access to this main swinging arm, the end of the big bolt on this side. And again, this is the adapter that fits over it. It's quite a shallow bolt, so just putting a wee adapter on might not necessarily be enough. So they've included a wee pin in the middle which locates in. So this one clips onto this side. But to gain access to it, this sprocket cover has to be removed, which again, remove the 5 bolts to take the cover off. And that gives you access to this bolt. Again, so remove the footrest again on this side as well. The silencer's off the bike at the moment. You do not have to remove the silencer on this side. I've got it off because I'm doing other maintenance on this bike at this time. It's now ready to attach the stand to the bike. Now this part isn't really fully necessary, but I personally prefer to use, for my health and safety point of view, a wheel chock. If you look at ABBA's videos, they do not use a wheel chock. You can actually do it without it, but I find it is much easier and safer to use the wheel chock, especially if you're on your own and you don't have a helper to potentially hold the bike up. And I would actually think if you look at my last video on the ABBA stand where I really cover this in depth with regards to the wheel chock. So again, simple case, just take the bike, wheel her forward onto the wheel chock. Boom, and that's it. And you can let the bike go. And it's now ready to attach the stand to the Bonneville. So basically, you have the bike up, and with ABBA you would be holding the bike steady while you move this into position. The wheel chock makes it so much easier. And the centre stand has to be up as well. It will not work with the centre stand down because when it's been used in the various modes, the centre stand will get in the way. So this is by far and away the best way to do it. So again, we basically push the stand in, again slightly high, so if we just drop the stand right down and close the valve, we can move it into position. And again, it's still slightly too far down, but again, just a wee bit of minute movement, height adjustment on this, and again, you find the perfect height and it just so goes straight in. And there are brakes on the stand. It's always good practice to use them. So that's basically the stand attached on this side. So now we would move around to the opposite side, whereby, again, we would want to fit this side. And again, we have the adapter for this one here attached to this part here. And this is screwed in, but it's good to allow a wee bit of movement or space on the thread. Don't have it kind of fully backed out too far. And again, this just slides on to the bottom, and we just slide the stand in till it locks in place. So it's pushed in fully. There's a wheel nut at the bottom, just tighten that wee thumb nut up a wee bit. And there's also an Allen screw at the bottom. So again, just tighten that Allen screw up a wee bit. Don't have to be too hard on it. And there's a wee piece there to keep the key safe. So at this point, we've basically locked it on both sides. So we just need to put a wee bit of tension onto this screw, and that just tightens it up. And that's all you need. It doesn't need much, just take up any slack in it. So that's basically now the stand attached. So another part of the stand is using this arm here, which holds the back end up. Again, you'll see it doesn't want to go in there at the moment because it's just a wee bit too low. So we basically want to jack it up slightly so that we can get this arm in place. Looking at it from this side, this bracing piece comes down here, and we don't want it to go through and basically hit that, so you just keep it back a wee bit so it's got a wee bit of clearance, and tighten up that thumb nut down here. What we want to do is basically attach a strap to this back bobbin here and to this lower bobbin. You'll notice I've got two bobbins on this one. I've got one lower bobbin and one higher one. The stand itself comes with one of these pins. But to me it's handy to have two because it saves you having to unscrew it and keep screwing it into this bit. For a few more pounds, to me it's worth getting the second extra bobbin. So this is when we now attach this strap. Another point to bear in mind is this, what you want is these two spools to be pretty much in alignment with each other. So if that's coming down straight, this one should be lining up perfectly with it, which it's doing. Okay, so basically give it a bit of tension, that's it tightened up. The next bit is another wee secondary safety device which goes basically down and locks in place. So that's secure. So now, that's it now ready to lift. We're now ready to lift it up. The valve at the bottom is closed. The bike is secure on the lift, so we can start pumping away. It will start to lift the bike up. Until you can get the pin in. So that's the pin through, and again, at the moment the ram's taking the weight of the bike, but if you open up the valve, it will drop down slightly onto the pin, and now the ram, all the load is taken off the ram. Absolutely brilliant. So that's the bike up on the stand. It's really secure. You can, at this point, you can remove the wheel chock. Depends on what you're doing to the bike. You might want that out of the way. So yeah, as you can see down in this area where the footrest was, if that was still in position, it's so close to the stand, it would keep jamming. So it's really good to remove that. And again, with where the exhaust silencer would have came through, it would have been really awkward to attach the back strap mount because that would have been in the way. And on this side, again, it wouldn't have mattered. You can just keep this silencer on, it would be fine. And again, the same thing here. The footrest has to be removed because it gets a bit close to the stand. But you can actually put the stand into different positions. This is set on this position, but you can lift the front and the back, which I'll demonstrate and I'll show you how to do that. So what we want to do now is to remove this bar here. Be able to take that bar out, that's it. This is where the beauty of buying the second pin is, because for the next position, what we're going to do is to raise the front of the bike up. And to do it, you need the bike to be up on the back wheel to be up off the ground slightly, because when it comes up, you want the back end to swing down and in. So if it's sitting on the ground, it would be difficult for it to actually make that move. And buying the second pin, it saves you having to unscrew it from the arm and reposition it in here. And so to me, it's just, for a few pounds, it was worth it. So you want the two bobbins to be in alignment with each other. And put the strap back on, give it a bit of tension again, and then put the safety catch down as well. We start pumping, it will bring the front of the bike up. And as you can see, it can bring it up a fair old height. It would still go slightly more than that, but I think that's far enough. It has one more position that it can go into, and if we take her back down again, drop her on the ground. If we take the strap completely off, so it has no strap at all, and start pumping, close the valve. That's the whole back end up. Absolutely brilliant. To remove the stand from the bike, it's the same, pretty much the same procedure as putting it onto the stand. We would have to bring it back down again to the ground, refit this arm. So now we've got the strap on the back, well, we can basically pump it up a wee bit, and all we're doing this for is to reposition the wheel chock back under the front wheel. The chock back in again. And that's her locked back into the wheel chock. Basically drop the bike right back down till it's on its wheels again. And again, we take the tension off the stand, slacken the Allen screw and the thumb nut. Bracket is free to come off. And on this side, it's a case of just taking the brakes off and pulling the stand out. Again, at this point, because it's so low, it's actually, the stand is now scraping on the ground, so it's good to just jack it up a wee bit, and then it's free to come out. And the last job is just to take the bike back off the wheel chock. Come on, come, that's it. And that's the job done. You have one of these Bonnevilles and you want to use an ABBA stand? Yes, you can. Simply purchase the stand and either a Tiger 800 or a Tiger 900. This is a Tiger 900 GT Pro, and that is the fitting kit for this. Order that along with it. What I would also recommend that you purchase, along with the extra one of these spool adapters, is this part, which is the storage stand, and it is brilliant. It attaches to the stand and all the arms and things come off it, and the whole thing can be packed down into a very compact size, and it can just hide in a corner quite really easily. It is brilliant, really good. Again, ABBA have a video demonstrating the storage stand as well. So yeah, that's the extras I would personally recommend and have no regrets purchasing, because I think they're great. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.